Hello, namaste, welcome. My name is Julie Lynn Cato, and I am a yoga teacher, a meditation guide, and I'm a counseling intern. I have my master's degree in counseling, and I have put together a body image support group that I'm here talking to you about. So, welcome, and thank you for clicking on this to learn more about it. And for anyone who's feeling a little vulnerable and wondering if this is even something they want to do, I just really want to send you warm gratitude and thank you for taking this first step to see if it is something for you. So I'm going to explain it to you and kind of go down a little bit of it, but there still might be some more questions that you have, and they're perfectly okay to contact me and ask me. All my information is here where you can click on it and just take some time to really soul search it and find if this is something calling to you. I also briefly want to just explain to you where I came up with this idea and why. So we're going to use yoga, and we're going to use meditation, and we're going to use psychology. And when I say yoga, not just physical yoga poses, which we will do, but also different elements of yoga, different parts of yoga. So, excuse me, asana means yoga pose. So we will do asana, but we're also going to go into ahimsas, and which is a part of the yamas and niyamas, which is also considered the 8 limbs of yoga. Some people may have heard of that. If not, it's totally okay, and I wouldn't have if I hadn't done my yoga training. So don't feel like that's something you should know if you even go to yoga classes. But what they are is they are the moral and ethical codes of yoga. And ahimsa, like I just mentioned, is nonviolence. And how we use that with body image is we can be very violent in our thoughts and in our behaviors and in our emotions when we have a poor body image or a negative body image about ourselves. We can take them out on our body in a very negative way. And so when we understand the nonviolence and how to be nonviolent in our thoughts, our emotions, in our behaviors, we start to find like a self-acceptance that wasn't there. We start to nourish our bodies. We start to be more aware of our hungers that are physical and that are also mental and emotional, that our bodies are trying to help us to connect to. What made me come up with this is my own personal journey. I had a very poor body image issue to the point of not wanting to be connected to my body, not wanting to feel it, not wanting to look at it, not wanting to see it. I had so much despair and so much heartache and so much pain in my body and being around my body and looking at my body that my first instincts were always to get out of it and push through it. And it clearly didn't work. It just caused more pain and more struggle for me. So when I started to work with finding a positive body image, I found a counselor. I did some work, and the first step was getting me into meditation. And I learned through meditation how valuable connecting to myself was, connecting to my spirit. Because we're going to go into 4 bodies. So there's the spiritual body, that's the first one we start with. Then there's the mental, the emotional, and the physical body. And we're going to talk about that in the support group because all 4 of those are key parts in becoming cohesively whole in our bodies. We're going to learn which bodies you're connecting to and which ones you are disconnected to. We're going to learn which ones you need to pull in more or maybe push away and like have a more balance with them so that you can find more cohesion in your bodies. I love doing this work. I know it works. I've done it myself. I've worked hard. I've worked with other people in this whole practice. We're going to talk about different things also like the chakras. So the chakras are a subtle energy that moves in our body from the base of our body to the crown of the head. And we're going to go into the different types and how they affect our body image and how we are using them as a positive or a negative or how we can connect more to them. We're going to talk about sensitive beings. I've noticed in myself and in my work with others that most of us who have poor body image usually are very sensitive people. Maybe this doesn't apply to you or maybe it does. But we're going to learn what does it even mean to be a sensitive being and how has that affected you maybe in the world and made you maybe kind of contract into your body or want to just escape from your body. We'll go into that. We're going to go into finding what our food cravings are. So I have a food cravings chart that I've put together from other people and other research. And the reason why I always bring in a food craving chart is because that is our nourishment for our bodies. And food is completely emotional. And if this is already kind of either striking a chord with you, triggering something, or maybe connecting to you, I feel like I'm speaking to you, you're understanding what I'm saying. So for instance, like one food craving, that it can be a positive thing. It doesn't mean that something negative happened to you and that's what's wrong with you craving ice cream. Ice cream, for instance, is all of these different types of sweetness, fat, dairy, all these different types of things. And when it's frozen, it represents the emotion of hurt. So just like you see in TV shows or movies, that when there's a breakup, the first thing, the woman tends to go, the very stereotypical thing is she's eating ice cream because she's hurt. So there is a connection between these, and we start to learn this. It doesn't mean that something negative about ice cream happened to your life. Maybe your parents always took you to get ice cream when you did really well in a sport or in an activity, and there's a positive feeling towards it. Or there could be a negative feeling, but we can do the work and we can research it and find out. But that's why I like to use the food chart, just so we can understand our emotions even more. This is all about a journey of going inward and connecting into our inner part. We have to connect to that spirit first before we can even step into that physical body. And then we can go into the physical body. We go into the body image issues. So if you feel as though this is something that really resonates with you, or you're interested, or you're curious, or you're like, what is this? I don't know. Please let me know. Please come to the first meeting. It's free, because we're just going to kind of check out and see if this is what would really work for you or not. And then we're going to start meeting every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:45 p.m. It'll be an hour and a half, and I want to make sure that we get a commitment for 6 months. So 6 months in length. Obviously, we have some holidays, some seasonal breaks coming up, so it might extend further than the actual physical 6 months. But I would really encourage you to come and check it out. Just ask me any questions. All the information is here. And I just want to thank you so much for taking some time to let me share with you this really beautiful gift that I'm offering you. Namaste.